Welcome to part two of the four-part series, Being on Stage Alone, but Never by Yourself. In this series, I interview members from the Big Talk membership community so that you can understand why having a community of speakers elevates your speaking platform. One enlightening life experience expanded her mindset in such a way that Rukiya Robinson decided that she would never live beneath her potential, capabilities, possibilities, and began creating opportunities. Rukiya is a world-class business coach and consultant, entrepreneur, and emerging multi-message speaker. She has been dubbed as the real deal and feminine powerhouse from men and women she's worked with, dropping seeds of knowledge, wisdom, business, strategies, inspiration, motivation, followed up with action. Rukiya has been gifted at creating breakthrough experiences with her coaching clients to create lasting transformation. She is driven by impact, transformation, and results. I'm recording this bio introduction separate from the interview that you're going to see. When we interviewed on Facebook Live, there were some technical difficulties, so I wanted you to hear who Rukiya Robinson was before we began the interview. You are going to love this. Enjoy. This is the perfect opportunity to talk about how important it is to connect via tech right now and to just keep giving yourself permission to not be perfect, right? To not be perfect at it, but just to keep trying. I want to know, first of all, who you're serving currently. Talk to us a little bit about who you're coaching.
Absolutely. So I coach in individuals in the corporate setting. So I am working with leadership teams. I am working with departmental teams. So I do go into the organizational setting, working with leadership and their teams. And I also work with individuals. So on the corporate side, I am a business coach, business consultant, and a leadership consultant. And on the individual side, I am an entrepreneur coach. And these are things that are essentially part of my tree trunk of things that I absolutely love, things that I'm absolutely passionate about. And I have all these different branches of things that's ultimately part of this tree trunk. So it is leadership development, it is business strategy, it is human capital, but it's also business success, business strategy. What is it that you need to do to be a successful entrepreneur? And that is working with entrepreneurs, because it's so much more than just having an amazing idea. We want to make sure that it's viable. We want to make sure that it's going to be profitable. We want to make sure that you're going to be able to generate revenue from it and then grow from there. So these are things that I work with individuals on the corporate side and individuals.
I love that you just brought up the importance of the idea. You know how important idea is to me, Rukiya.
Absolutely.
When you apply the importance of an idea to yourself as a speaker, how do you get there?
So I want to I want it to be more than just, what I think. I want it to be something that is impactful and something that's meaningful, and something that an audience can take away from it with a possibly a new perspective. So want to make sure that the thought is considered in a way that what impact is this going to make to a group or an audience or this particular uh, audience that I'm here to speak about. It's not about necessarily what I think, but what is it, this particular thing that we can take and possibly look at it differently or do something different with this particular thought. Something that's going to essentially provoke, or make us think about it just a little bit deeper or differently.
How are you identifying your big idea right now? And is it something you'd be willing to share live?
Um, Yes, I
Yeah.
will actually. So I've been working behind the scenes on actually quite a few things, and one of which is the rebranding of my coaching business. And I've actually been working on this for the past few months. And those, I really took a look at who was coming to me and the types of issues they were coming to me. And it was consistent in the type of women that were coming to me. And I essentially rebranded my coaching business specifically for them. So I didn't name it me. I didn't name it, all these different names. I named it exactly who it is serving, and it's literally geared toward this community. And I'm really excited about it. And that's one of the things that I've been working on.
Amazing. How does the new group that you're serving help you identify your new keynote?
It is,
Because I know you're working on one.
yes. Well, one of the things that I'm very passionate about, which I mentioned in my opening, is seeing um, women succeed in business. And um, this specific market is for Black women entrepreneurs, because when I look at these statistics and when I look at the data is telling us that Black women entrepreneurs are starting companies at record breaking numbers. However, we, in terms of annual revenue growth, it's not more than 60,000 a year. And so when you think of that number in from a business perspective, and you're expecting to live off of or be able to create a salary off of your revenue, $60,000 a year, $40,000 a year, $25,000 a year in business revenue is not good. Now, even though we're running out there starting businesses, that's amazing and that's great. But there are some gaps that need to be filled so that we can get this revenue to where you can run the business successfully, cover your operational costs, but also be able to pay yourself. So you're not having to, struggle. And I've shared with our community how I struggled, and that was a breakthrough moment for me. Why I'm so passionate about the things that I do, because I've experienced these things personally. So it wasn't something that, oh, this is something great that I've learned in a book. I've lived this. I've lived it. I walk it out. I live and breathe it. It's not something that I've done, in a year. This is something I've been doing for like the past, as a matter of fact, this makes 11 years. So I'm very passionate about it. And so I want to um, help change these numbers. There, you can be a successful entrepreneur, but I want to help fill in that gap so that we're not just starting these businesses, but we're experiencing success, and we can live, and we don't have to always hustle and do all these different side things, or desire to have this business and then go back to an unfulfilling job.
Amazing, amazing. I can feel your passion through the screen, Rukiya.
Thank you.
And Jazz says that's such a smart move, making it about your community instead of you. And Brandy is here, of course, live. She's
Ooh.
always with us. I want to know right now, what drew you to this community, Rukiya? And I have to just first start by saying you bring so much value to this group. It is just a true pleasure to have you in the membership community.
Well, thank you. It is my absolute pleasure to be part of this community, and community, and my honor. So what brought me to this community? So to be honest, Tricia, I had been following you for about 2 years prior to, and the type of learner that I am, because I had absolute clarity on what it is that I wanted to do in my business, in my life. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew the arena that I wanted to operate in. I knew the stages that I was going to be on. I knew all of those things. It was very important for me to get the right coach to guide me, and the right tools and the right resources to guide me on this journey. So I wasn't looking for like one program or one, purchase this one program, one and done. That wasn't what I was looking for. For me, what's very important is, one, cultivating the relationship, but two, gleaning from those that have skin in the game, knows what they're talking about, can essentially pull the things out of me that I don't necessarily see, and will help me grow and develop into what I know that I have been called to do and to be. So I didn't want to like haphazardly jump into another group or another program. That wasn't it for me. So this for me was strategic, and it was very well thought out. And once I saw that you had a community, I was like, I've got to be a part of this. It was a no-brainer, hands down.
Well, thank you for saying that. And I want to point out to our viewers that I feel very strongly about the attraction. I know that I attract the right people. I know that I manifest the right community members, because this group of human beings, and I say human beings first, they're speakers second, but they're human beings first. They show up for each other. They show up for themselves. You show up vulnerably because I do have skin in the game. It is my mission to get up every morning and to help every single one of the speakers in my community, big and small, to be able to share their message and your message, because I truly believe that your message is going to not only change someone's life, but save someone's life. And I truly mean that. And I've seen it happen. So I am so excited to be able to support you on the journey of getting onto the big stage. I'd love for you to share with our listeners a little anecdote about, currently you just booked a speaking gig by talking to somebody at the luggage
Okay,
in an
so
airport.
about what is today? We're in April. Okay, so in first part of March, let me just back up. I started my master's degree program, and it started in March, like the first week or the last week of February. But the first week of March, we had to fly out to California, to the campus for our first week there, as part of the class. So flying back to Dallas, getting my luggage off the luggage carousel, um, and just to note, my program is organizational leadership, my master's program. So coming off the airplane, going to the luggage carousel, I'm just kind of standing there waiting for my luggage. And there's this lady that walked up on my right side. And so she's waiting for her carousel and waiting for her luggage. And then this guy walks up to her. And so they were close enough for me to literally hear every word they were saying to each other. So I heard the whole conversation. And the whole conversation was around their leadership trip that they just came back from. These so I just got a whole conversation of intel. I turned around and took that intel and turned it into a conversation. So I said, "Hi, so sounds like you had an amazing time at your leadership trip and blah, blah, blah." So she informs me that she works for the USPS and United States Postal Service. And so we had a conversation. I told her what I did. She asked me a couple of questions. She asked me for my card. I said, absolutely. Do you have a card? She said, I don't have a card, but I said, well, no problem. Are you on LinkedIn? And she said, I absolutely am. So I grabbed my phone, found her on LinkedIn, connected with her right then. She told me what she was looking for. And she was looking for a speaker. Talk about timing. So since then, she and I have been communicating, and we are now working out those details.
I am so excited about this story. Everything that you did was absolute perfection in terms of just paying attention, noticing the opportunity first, and then taking action second. And so that actually has planted the seeds that are going to bear fruit for you later.
Absolutely.
It's so important. And everybody who's listening, what we're doing right now in this time of pause, in this time of the global pandemic, what we're doing right now is so important. And I encourage everyone to remember that this is an opportunity for creation and innovation. And it doesn't mean that you have to let go of empathy or compassion or just forge ahead. It means self-care. It means being conscious. It means really reflecting, but it also means paying attention to keeping the story moving forward. And you're doing that so beautifully.
Because
And
the reality is, people still need people.
yeah, that's right. People still need people.
And so it's so very important that we stay connected, and you don't have to like go for a hard sell. For me, that was not what I was looking for, a hard sell. For me, it was about connecting, listening to what her needs were, and then, just kind of cultivating from there. And I will tell you, I years ago, I would not have had the confidence to just approach a person I don't know anything about anything that I do, or ask them any questions or how I could possibly serve or help. I wouldn't have done that. So it's just amazing the growth that I have um, been able to achieve being part of this amazing group.
Oh, makes me so happy. I would love to know, Rukiya, two of the things that have stood out about being part of the Big Talk membership community.
Well, the first thing is the very first day that I joined the community and we were all introducing ourselves. Um, we all introduced ourselves with videos, and everyone that jumped in with an introduction, they all had a very unique story that we all connected with. There was an instant connection, like immediately. And again, this is a high caliber group of people, so it's not a group of people that just literally just want to jump on stage for the moment. These are our careers. These are people that do this, day in and day out, or as part of their menu of services that they offer, as part of who we are. One of the things that stood out for me was when I did my video introduction, I informed the group one of my greatest challenges, which was stage fright. And forever, I had literally been eaten up by fear because of a past experience when I was a child. A lot of people don't know this, but I had an experience on stage as a child where I literally froze up. And it just carried on with me as an adult, and it had prevented me from getting on stages because I was afraid. um and the community just literally just rallied around me, and I want to say either the first response or the second response on my first day, the first hour I was in there, helped me, provided a solution that literally changed my perspective of how to approach going on stage. And from that point on, it was like it was addressed. And I don't experience that fear anymore. That was so huge for me. Second thing is, I would say the energy of this group and how resourceful this group is, but not just the resources of the group, what we're getting from you. Like, this is more than just you learn a speaker topic. This is really developing as a professional speaker, where you are working with industry professionals on the business side, but you are a desired speaker. You're invited to stages because of the energy that you bring, the professionalism that you bring, but you also know what you're talking about. Like, that is a very, very big deal. And for me, that was very, very important. And this is just, it's just, I can't put words to it. It's just amazing.
Thank you. And just to remind the viewers, this is a group that has speakers who've had 30, 40 years career speaking professionally, and some new people who are learning from their colleagues. So it's such a beautiful mix of experience, and everyone is equal. Everyone is equal, no matter how many stages you've been on. Everybody comes to the table with who they are and what their point of view is. And that means everybody is there to support each other. It's so special. In addition to the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, and these group calls that we have together, it's also access to a resource library that I designed specifically with the speaker platform in mind, so that we could really take you on a journey and mine you with all the tools and all the resources you need, so that you can go back to that library at any point and grab something. What stood out for you in terms of the resources so far, Rukiya?
Prior to joining this community, I had never considered a TEDx talk. And I heard, Rukiya, you should consider TEDx. Rukiya, you should consider TEDx. I didn't know enough about it for it to be a firm yes for me. So it was not anything that I was really interested in, but it wasn't, I just didn't know enough about it. But upon joining this community and learning about the differences between a TEDx talk and a keynote talk, and the differences between the different talks, and learning how to be a successful TEDx speaker, that just opened up a world of opportunities for me, because now I can go into this informed and craft my TEDx talk, which I will be doing as well. And I'm very excited about that. But I can go into this and experience success as well. So it's we're being prepared in so many ways that I did not even expect when I joined this community. And so I feel like I'm getting more than what I expected and kind of anticipated. So
Amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. We have some people on. I want to give them hi. Rupa's here. Heart and purpose is why I love everyone in the group, is what she said. Brandy, any questions? Let's open it up to questions for Rukiya. I'm going to hang for a minute so we have a slight delay. Anything else you want to think of in terms of how you can support this community right now, in terms of what you can share about your growth, how you're serving in a new way, how I love the story of being prepared in that moment, in terms of landing yourself a speaking gig. Is there anything else you can share about that?
um, I believe that actively engaging with those in our community, it and we're having these conversations regularly, because it's part of who we are. So it's not like, picking something up from the store. Like, this is what we do, right? So our conversations are around this. And I've met people in the group that are local, and we're here in the Dallas area, but also from those around the United States. And one of the things that for me is it's important to be around like-minded individuals that have a very high level energy, and these people bring their own unique strengths and differences to the group, and it's like we're all sharpening each other. And for me, what's very important is to have people that I can walk the journey with. So again, I didn't want to just buy a program and then just take it and go on. That's not what I was looking for, because there's a million of those out there. I wanted to be part of a community that I could literally experience and see tangible results and value quickly. And that's what I've been able to do. And I've become so much stronger and confident since then. And to get constructive feedback in a way that helps us to go back and improve, and to talk about improve our stage presence, or whatever it is, to have that type of engagement and feedback is very, very important for a professional speaker.
Amazing. And I always say this, I've said this to the group, Rukiya, in my community, you might be on stage by yourself, but you are never alone. And that
Absolutely.
is something that we absolutely live by. I know we touched on this earlier, but it's really important to remind ourselves that what we're doing right now as speakers and as leaders is laying the groundwork for the future. And once we get back into flow and beyond this global pandemic, we're going to be able to speak on stages. Right now we're doing it virtually, which is equally as important to understand the art of public speaking and communication. Supporting my community is incredibly important to me, which is why I've decided to open up the Big Talk membership community today. I usually wait until November or December, but I think it's really important to give people an opportunity to have this community and this safe space in order to continue the forward momentum. You can join me and Rukiya and the incredible members for $47 a month. And I will put the link in the comments. It's triciabrouk.com/membership. This is a really incredible opportunity. And it's an opportunity to really, everything Rukiya was saying, create your speaker platform, have the support of the community, ask the questions that you're afraid to ask, because I'm going to answer them for you. I'm here to serve you. You're going to get access to a resource library that happens once a month, so you are not bombarded with content and feel paralyzed or overwhelmed. I've thought very consciously about how to serve my community, and everyone in it is incredible. So I do hope that you will join us in the Big Talk membership community. We are going to be open until Saturday. I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaways were from our conversation with Rukiya today. And if you feel that this is valuable to you, please share it with your community so that we can serve as many people as possible. It is so important right now that we have a safe space to speak our truth and to have our voice, especially now. And Rukiya, thank you so much for being with me here today. It's always a pleasure to talk with you and to learn from you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. I really enjoy being here. And everyone else that's out there, all of our community. Big
We
Talk
have a question. A
members.
question just came in before we wrap. Beck
Okay.
says, curious about how your coaching business and your Big Talk topics, which address specific audiences and community, might reach and appeal to a broader audience, or does that matter? I know Beck, he's a friend of mine and he's working on some really powerful stuff right now. So I love this question.
Okay. Repeat the question, please.
Curious about how your coaching business and Big Talk topics, which address specific audiences and community, might reach and appeal to a broader audience, or does that matter?
It can reach a broader audience. And what I'm currently working on is specific to this group. However, I believe that the challenges that people experience in business is universal. And the knowledge that I've been able to acquire and the wisdom that I've been able to acquire and working with those that I've had the absolute pleasure of working with and growing with has allowed my message is universal. And I work with, so many, a very diverse group of people in corporate and in individuals. So absolutely.
I agree. Knowing Rukiya, yes, Beck, for sure. Amazing. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you in the membership.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Tricia.
I hope that you will start sharing your powerful story today, and be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you get access to my newest and latest videos. And I really appreciate that you are here and will always respond to the comments. Big love.